Alright, so we're here to read Elements of Failure by L. Wolf. The new story, six chapters. We're going to get it all done today. Yay. It's based off a picture by Hair Trinity, which I've seen, and it looks and it looks a little, I can't say scary, because it takes a lot to scare me, but it's definitely unique. Definitely a unique picture, which probably makes this a very unique story. L. Wolf's first attempt at grimdark, probably only, especially if it sucks. But it has 20 likes and 5 dislikes, so the majority of the masses enjoy it, and I probably will too. So, Chapter 1's Dishonesty. I'm not really sure what will happen, but we'll find out. A small group of 6 ponies stood at the entrance of their free forest. They knew they had to go into the forest. They had to retrieve the elements of harmony from the ancient castle of the royal pony sisters and stop Nightmare Moon.
Whee! Let's go!
A pink pony with a fluffy mane and tail said with a bouncing towards the forest. She had a cutie mark of 3 balloons. Not so fast, answered a lavender unicorn with a straight blue, purple, and pink mane said. She had a cutie mark of a large purple stare, and 5 smaller white stars. She then continued to speak. Look, I appreciate the offer, but I'd really rather go do this on my own. No can do, Sugar Cube. An orange pony with a yellow mane and tail spoke up, and a cutie mark of 3 red apples. She spoke with a southern accent, and she trotted closer to Twilight Sparkle. We sure ain't letting any friend of ours go into that creepy place alone. We're sticking to you like caramel on a candy apple. After speaking up, Applejack and the other ponies went to the forest. Pinkie Pie and Applejack in the lead, followed by a yellow Pegasus with a flowing pinky mane and tail. Its cutie mark was 3 butterflies, a white unicorn with a style purple mane, and 3 blue gems for a cutie mark, and lastly a blue Pegasus with a rainbow-colored mane and tail. Its cutie mark was a white cloud and a rainbow lightning bolt.
Especially if there's candy apples in there,
Pinkie Pie said while looking back at Twilight.
What? Those things are good,
Pinkie added before following Applejack, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity into the forest, leaving Twilight Sparkle. Twilight sighed and slowly followed the rest of the group into the forest, moving to catch up and took the lead. The group made slow progress into the forest, looking around quietly.
So, none of you have been in here before?
Twilight asked, keeping her eyes out, focused ahead.
Heavens no, just look at it. It's dreadful,
Rarity said, sounding a little panicked to be in the forest.
And it ain't natural. Folks say it don't work the same as Equestria.
Applejack said as she looked around, but noticing a dark blue mist floating around the edge of the cliff before moving onto a cliff face. It worked its way through the cracks, expanding them, and slowly started to make the ground weaker.
What's that supposed to mean?
Twilight asked, feeling panic build inside her.
No pony knows,
Rainbow Dash said in a creepy voice, floating slowly from the shadows into the light, scaring Rarity, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Twilight.
You know why?
Rainbow, quit it, Applejack said sternly, taking on a more serious attitude to the Pegasus' joking.
'Cause every pony who's ever come in has never come,
Rainbow Dash said, ignoring Applejack as she crept along the ground towards Rarity, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie.
Out!
As soon as she finished saying that, the ground crumbled out from under them, the blue mist flying away quickly unseen. Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash quickly flying up as the ground broke up and crumbled away, taking the other 4 down the side towards a large drop-off.
Fluttershy, quick!
Rainbow Dash said, flying towards the group to help as best she could.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness!
Fluttershy said as she flew after Rainbow Dash, wanting to help as well. Rainbow Dash grabbed Pinkie Pie and lifted her up into the air as Fluttershy flew past quickly. She grabbed Rarity's tail by the teeth to slow her down. Applejack slid along the ground on her back, grabbing a root in her teeth to stop herself from going any further down the side. She looked down and saw Twilight having trouble stopping herself. Twilight kept sliding along the ground on her back, rolling over just as she got to the edge of the cliff and went over to the side, but managed to stop herself enough and hung on by her forearms, her hind legs kicking at the cliff face to try and push herself back up. Applejack saw her and let go, sliding her way down.
Hang on, I'm a-comin',
she called down to Twilight as she slid, grabbing her forehooves.
Applejack, what do I do?
Twilight asked, panicked as she did her best to keep from falling and trying to pull herself back up onto the cliff. Applejack looked up before looking back down at Twilight. Let go, Applejack told her, trying to be reassuring everything will be fine.
Are you crazy?
Twilight said, upset at what Applejack had said. She didn't want to fall.
No, I ain't. I promise you'll be safe,
Applejack said, trying to reassure Twilight she'd be fine.
That's not true.
Twilight said, unconvinced. She felt Applejack was lying to her and wanted her to fall. Now listen here. I ain't no liar, Twilight, Applejack said. A little angry Twilight would call her a liar, though she knew in the back of her mind she wasn't sure Twilight would be safe. I'm not letting go, Twilight said, pulling to get herself back up on the cliff. Her pulling caused Applejack to start sliding closer to the edge of the cliff herself. Twilight, quit it! You're going to pull me over with you, Applejack said, feeling herself slide closer to the edge. Twilight didn't listen to her fear getting the better of her. She felt herself slide closer to falling over the edge, the ground starting to crumble under them from her repeated kicks with her back legs to get better footing. The ground eventually gave way, causing both to fall over the edge. Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash, who had just put down Pinkie Pie and Rarity, watched in horror as the two ponies fell. Twilight's horn glowed and flashed as she teleported to the ground mid-fall, landing causing her to roll, but she was otherwise unharmed. Rainbow Dash quickly shot into the air to try and catch Applejack, but she just missed as she hit the ground, her heart of a sickening thud. The small group rushed over to check on Applejack, but she was already gone, the impact with the ground snapping her neck and crushing her rib cage. The five stood there a moment, a look of pure horror on their faces. Tears rolled down the cheeks of the group. Twilight took a deep, long, shuddering breath before turning away. Let's keep moving. We'll come back for a body after we defeat Nightmare Moon, she said softly, the rest of the group slowly turning to join them as they continued on their path. That's kind of funny.